Hello, my friend, and welcome to the 570th episode of the Sales Podcast. I'm Wes Scheper, the Sales Whisperer, your host. Today we have Mr. Paul Scheper. He is a real estate mortgage guru out of Orange County. He's been there for decades. So this guy knows what he's doing, because that is not an area where you can fake it till you make it. And he has released his new book, which was several years in the making, called The Psychology of Improving from A to Z, the ABCs of Self-Improvement. So he shares his wisdom of decades of closing big deals in one of the toughest, highest end, most elite real estate markets in the world. And he's just a wealth of knowledge, and so you're in for a treat. I was going to get this out a little bit sooner, but, life gets in the way. Still building out the office, learning about how all my files didn't quite come over. I mean, they exist, they're in the cloud. I've got them backed up on Dropbox. I've got them backed up in the Apple Cloud. But, I've got a process. I've got a process for making the podcasts, for naming them, tagging them, SEO, pushing them to my team. So I had to re-download some things. Tweaking and testing headphones and microphone and standing desk. I've got a new external monitor, new camera, new lighting. It's all coming together. So, I'm following Paul's advice, this psychology of improvement. That's what I'm getting after. Also, still neck deep in wedding planning for my daughter. Yeah, it was easy for the son. Daughters, I don't know how I'm going to handle this. So bear with me, folks. All right. I'm also starting to outline a new conference, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to do a sales type conference out on the West Coast here, and bring together some of the experts that I've had on the podcast. So I think that's going to be pretty cool. And that came up as a result of an interview with someone that I had recently on the podcast. So that episode will go live in about a month. But, put yourself in places to succeed. Surround yourself with cool people. Surround yourself with people getting stuff done, movers and shakers, and good things will happen. So I'm going to got a few things in the hopper, so I will let you know. All right, stay tuned. Still got the Sell More of Everything program going on, working on some rebranding of that. The price has changed a little bit, moved it to quarterly or annual. Annual still a big savings. Raised the price a little bit on the quarterly, but it's still super affordable. So avail yourself of that. Every Monday we're on a live call, and we got a private group where you can pick my brain. All right? Because you got to surround yourself with good people that have been there, done that, been through a few recessions, are not living hand to mouth, can detach and give you sage advice in times that you need it. All right, so come join us, sellmoreoferything.com, and then come back and listen to the episode with Paul. Paul Scheper, founder, president, broker owner, Longevity Mortgage and Homegevity Realty, and new author of The Psychology of Improving from A to Z, the ABCs of Self-Improvement. Welcome to the Sales Podcast. How the heck are you?
Doing really well. Thanks for inviting me, and it's good to be here.
So you're out in Orange County, huh?
Yeah, in the mean streets of Orange County, California. It is beautiful, beautiful area. Been lucky to be living here since 1983, so I'm pretty lucky, knock on wood.
It's almost as tough as Temecula, so we're kind of tough across the mountain. That's why you never come see me, because we're tough out here.
Well, let me tell you, you're number 2 on the list every time I go out there, because the wineries are number 1.
I know.
Rancho California Road, baby.
I know. All right. Let me know when you come. I will meet you there.
Good.
So first of all, because I've known your daughter for a little bit, seen the exploits on the interwebs, and you went to a really good school. Was it Yale or Princeton? It was one of those, right?
Well, it was called Harvard, and I knew you'd rub that in on me.
Oh, I knew it was one of those.
Liberal arts school in Cambridge, Massachusetts, Harvard University. And when I was in high school, I was dating my current wife at the time, and she thought it was Harbor Junior college over there in San Pedro. And honest to God, I said, hey, I'm leaving now. She goes, well, how far is San Pedro? And I said, no, it's Harvard. And she goes, I thought it was Harvard Junior College. So by golly, I think that helped me seal the deal for 40-year marriage with my wife when she learned in the dictionary that harbor does not equal Harvard.
Well, you see this above me, my Air Force Academy Falcons helmet. I was, when you're in school, like you think you're all that in a bag of donuts, right? And I was up in Denver. I think I was close, like at a club, and meet this girl. And she's like, where are you? What are you doing? I'm like, I'm at the Air Force Academy. She's like, where's that? I'm like, it's an hour away. What? How do you, like, talk about pop your bubble.
Colorado Springs, baby. Colorado Springs off the 225 south.
Yeah, baby. But because I was checking out your social media, because there's a lot of people, I don't know if you know this, but there's a shtick going around. And these speaker guru coaches put on this little seminar where you pay through the nose to give like essentially a 5-minute TED talk, like in some auditorium on the outskirts of Harvard. When you get pictures and they'll bring some celebrity and you're on stage shaking hands. So people, they say that they've spoken at Harvard.
Oh.
And I'm like, everybody in the audience is just people that have paid to rotate 5 minutes in front of a podium with the Harvard behind them. So it's they are besmirching your university. So I will find them for you and then I'll let you take them out. Okay.
Son of a gun. They're devaluing the tuition that I had to pay to go there.
It's a crazy world, but I like your longevity and your longevity. I mean, 25 years in this business and doing it in Orange County. I mean, that's legit. You've seen some upticks, you've seen some downticks. What's your secret? What's your 1 or 2 or 37 secrets to success?
Well, you won't forget it this way. It's an acronym, SIT, S-I-T, and I'm sitting right now on this great podcast interview. SIT stands for stay in touch. You have to stay in touch with people. So I have a database. I email monthly. I do actual, snail mail too, like newsletters. My daughter and I work in business together. She handles all the real estate side, and I handle all the mortgage and real estate financing side. And most of our business, surprisingly, comes from word of mouth, referrals, past customer database. Sit down and listen, stay in touch. That's the key, in my opinion, to longevity in the business. And the name of the company is Longevity. It's a play off of longevity because I want customers to be with me for life.
Yeah. When did you learn that though? Right? Because my son he's in real estate trying to get started, and he interned with some friends of mine out here that have a firm, one of the top firms in the state. They made him be a buyer's agent at first. So he did his last semester of college working with them on the side. And then he's been at it full time. But for a new guy, like this has been a crazy market for a new guy, especially to be on a buyer side. It wasn't even feasible. I mean, I feel bad for the guy, but it is what it is.
It's hard.
So when somebody is starting out, like word of mouth and referral, it's the dream to get to that point. But like initially, you got to earn the right to be referred, right? How do you put food on the table until you've built that brand and people trust you?
Yeah, that's the hard part. And because obviously, it's a chicken or the egg, what comes first? Well, clearly you got to get some customers first before you can even have a database to market to. So, whatever your product is, whatever your widget is, real estate is just one of them. It doesn't even matter, if it's pharmaceutical sales or anything. You got to find out who are the people out there who have a problem. Who can I help solve a problem for? where are they too? And really, sales and business comes down to two things, and you better be really good at one of the two things, or two of the two if possible. And one is, how can I help customer increase their revenue? How do I help them make money? And the other is, how do I help them cut their costs? How do I save them money? It really is simple. Who can I help make money today for? Like, who can I help show how to make money, and how can I show other people how to save money? So what you have to do is just find people who have a problem, who have a need, who want to make money or save money. And then you got to get sometimes mailing lists, phone lists, call lists. And it's all about seeing the people, see the people, shake hands with people. Your Rolodex, the bigger your Rolodex, the more people you see each day, the more people you talk to each day, then all of a sudden customers start popping up with the sound effect of, there's a new customer, there's another customer. And it's, inch by inch, it's a cinch. Yard by yard, it's hard. That's the poem of the day by Paul Scheper. But really, you have to inch by inch say, all right, today, tomorrow, this week, here's what I'm going to do this week to find people where I can help them solve a problem. So that's, it's just, you got to hit the street and work really hard.
Yeah. What are you seeing that's working today? You mentioned email and physical mail. Do you have like tangible numbers on the physical mail? Like, do you have different calls to action or tracking that shows, that's still working? Like, is it kind of a magazine, or is it just purely your own newsletter?
It would be what I do to gain new customers. I find lists of people who are potential candidates to refinance their home, because you can find a chart and say, here's everybody who had a high interest rate during these years. Secondly, here are the people that have PMI on their loan, where they bought a home with 5 or 10% down, where now the values have gone up, and maybe, so those are opportunities. But it's direct mail, snail mail, with postcards, with letters, and you're lucky if you can get 0.4%, which is 0.5%. The old days, back in 1980, 1990, and the early 2000s, 1% response rate was kind of what I used to get. Now it's 0.3, 0.4, just responding. So you have to kind of look at the waterfall. And the key is, there's a lot of people that say maybe, not yet, not now, not ready. So that's where they go into the email database and the customer mailing database. And then, so there's two types: new, fresh customers over here, and then the people that are in the database. So you have to trickle. You have to continually percolate and drip people with a good CRM, with just good follow-up. Because I have a hat, and my daughter Sarah thought I was cussing because it said "F-U" on it, and she goes, "What the heck are you doing? That's terrible. You have a hat, a baseball hat that says F-U, and it stands for follow-up." And she won't forget it that way, and either will some of the people that I've managed, coached, and trained over the years, because I've been at the big mortgage companies before, and I used to go in front of them, 100 people that used to report to me with "F-U." Nowadays, I get sued. I can't do that anymore because, it's a different culture we live in. Somebody would be offended, I'd be sued. But it stood for follow-up. And then, of course, I later cleaned it up and put an FT on the back. And that means if you don't follow up, they won't follow through. They won't follow through. They just won't if you don't follow up. So I think it's a crazy market, but it really is a numbers game. Mathematics, never, ever give up, but be smart, work smart and hard. I hate when people say, work smart, but not hard. Well, no, you got to work smart and hard and follow up and follow through.
Are you deploying other technologies? Like, are you leveraging SMS, social media ads, things like that? I know we want to talk about how you're leveraging your book, but before we get into that, because a lot of my listeners, they may not have a book that they can talk about yet. So I'm trying to get some ideas on things that are working today, like they could implement, this week, next week, to maybe start building some momentum.
Well, the platforms, I call them the big four, which is Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook business page, right? So there's the four. The fifth one, I haven't partaken in yet, called TikTok. It's unbelievable what's happening. But some of my clients, especially, I actually focus a lot on the senior citizen population. It's called reverse mortgages. And I also handle just the kids of the reverse mortgage clients. Most of my clients are aged 30 through 55. So that's my big segment. 80% of my business comes from that segment. And then the other, I would say 15% comes from the senior citizen population. And then 5% are first-time buyers. So maybe I should be on TikTok for them, but I haven't really built that out yet. But social media is, I get on groups in LinkedIn. Secret tip of the day: don't just post on your LinkedIn page. You have to find groups that pertain to your subject, like certified financial planner is one of my groups, insurance agents, part of my groups, elder attorneys, part of my groups. And then you post to the groups so that you can, they call it divide and conquer, segment, focus, target, niche. That the riches are in the niches. I think I've heard you say that before, Wes, a few times, but it really is important. And of course, in follow up and follow through.
Yeah. So will you make posts there, like sharing data and info, or are you answering questions that others post? Because like if you're, you show up as a mortgage guy, but you're talking to certified financial planners, do some of them get irritated? Like, oh, look at this guy, he's poaching, he's encroaching. How do you juggle that and be a welcome guest in an area when you're not one of them?
That's a very good question, because you can oversaturate, and that's critical. Because when I get too much from somebody, I can't take it anymore. I just block them, snooze them. So you have to find the right mix. So I post to the groups no more than once per week, and it's fresh, good content. And it's usually how to do this, how to overcome this, what most people do in their retirement, something that's intriguing. So that's one thing. You have to give, but also you got to go into these groups, critical, and you got to comment and like and acknowledge everybody else. Otherwise, you're just a selfish guy coming in here posting for your own gratification. You have to contribute and give more than you receive. And I think it was St. Francis of Assisi who once said, it is in giving that you receive. And St. Francis of Assisi probably was a realtor back in the days, or maybe a mortgage professional, because it is in giving that you receive. So when you're out there, I never post how great I am. 5-star rating. I can't stand that. It's like, no one cares about you, and you. That's just, it's absurd to do that. Bragging about yourself, I can't stand it. I block them. What you have to do is don't talk about yourself, talk about them and their problems, and how you can come in and solve problems with third-party testimonials. Here's what many customers are feeling nowadays, especially with inflation. Oh my God, fear, uncertainty, doubt. People don't care about you. They don't care about me. And I've overcome that. Who cares? It's all about them, and them. It's all about them, not me. So my posts are strategically all about solving their problems and finding out before I start posting, what are they talking about? And how can I fit in here as a tool to help them solve their problems?
Yeah. So what have you noticed? Like, does it take a little while, like months even, before somebody, are you getting like requests to meet or to talk offline? Like, how do you see that evolve and pay dividends?
It's slowly but surely kind of, I have to say, that's where patience comes in, because in advertising and posting on social media sites, even Twitter, no one thing works, it all works. So what I'm finding is private messages do come my way. Hi, I'm Jim Henderson, a CPA here in Saratoga, California. Can you call me tomorrow? I want to talk about one of my clients that needs help refinancing or buying a home. I'm not kidding. We get these. We get private messages. Sarah Scheper, who's a realtor, and Paul Scheper, myself, the lender side of it, we work in tandem. We do get private messages, but it's definitely not, hey, let's start posting, and in 2 weeks, we're going to have people. It took 3 to 7 months to start getting 1 or 2. And once you get that 1 or 2, you got to follow up and follow through, but it's not easy. But so it's a kind of a combination, like I said, Twitter and the YouTube and, Facebook business pages. Surprisingly, Facebook personal page, you don't want to be too annoying, but sometimes, even though you're talking about personal things, they know that you're a mortgage guy or a real estate agent. So Sarah gets a lot of her business off of Facebook personal, whereas I have tended to go more the business Facebook page instead.
Mm-hmm. How are you using your Facebook business page? Because I don't do much there. I probably should, but I don't.
Yeah, all it is it's whatever I'm posting in Twitter and LinkedIn. I have a program called Hootsuite. Have you heard of it?
Sure.
I mean, Hootsuite is one of them. I've heard of Post Deck. I mean, there's all this stuff. I think you probably have 1 or 2 of those on your.
Yeah, I mean, I use HubSpot, and I do post there, but
HubSpot. That's a good
I'll
one.
use HubSpot to push it, but like I'm not hanging out there. I'm not really boosting posts, and I do see some engagement, but it's not like the center of my marketing and prospecting efforts.
Yeah, well, on the business page of Facebook, I invite them to subscribe, like, follow, and they have the choice to say no. But I have enough people in there that when I post, and I don't overpost, because you could oversaturate it and irritate people. There's a fine line there, because on Facebook, I post not more than 3 times a month. Otherwise, they're going to shut you off, and turn you off like a light switch, because it's annoying. And none of my stuff is about I, me, and myself, because personal pronouns, I, me, myself, are boring. Like, everyone's a bragger. And
hey, I'm not, man. It's just true. It ain't bragging if you can do it.
Absolutely. Yes. But you're solving problems, though. On your website, it's all about, here are things that people are experiencing that I can help you solve, because everyone has, the same situation. But yours is really kind of cool. One of them is, my wife goes, "What do you do all day, Paul?" And I go, "I do 2 things all day. I remember things and I forget things." And the product of the CRM that you're doing, that's just one of your many, it really is just about not forgetting,
Well, hey, you're better than me.
oops, should have had a V8, should have.
I just drink bourbon and know things. I mean,
Hey,
it's still just two things.
I got an Arnold Palmer here. Come on.
That's funny. So you wrote a book. From the outside looking in, somebody may be like, what the heck is this mortgage guy doing? Writing a book on improving. But before we hit record, you were sharing some nuggets and whatnot. So like what led you to A, to write a book, and B, why this topic?
All right. That's a great question, because I don't think I would have ever written a book, but my son, who is Scotty Scheper, he's 2 years older than Sarah Scheper. He's 30, I think he's 35. And Sarah, I'm not allowed to tell her age, so you'll have to do the math on that.
Hey,
so what happened
I'm
is
originally from Louisiana.
You cracked the code, you and Terry Bradshaw from Louisiana.
Well, yeah, but math was an elective for us. So I'm going to have to maybe get my kids to come listen to this later and help me. But
my son, you're going to laugh. My son he was a senior in college at Chapman College over in Orange, California. He wrote a book at age 22 called How to Get Focused in a Distracted World, because he had ADHD growing up at age 7, made fun of, ridiculed for years. And then he went to Chapman and got straight A's because he learned just his senior year in high school how to focus. And so he wrote a book on it about how to overcome ridicule and how to come up with a game plan on how to concentrate, how to focus. So he then challenged me. He goes, Dad, I've been to your seminars. I've been to your meetings where you've been in front of 50 people, realtors alike. You're always coming up with the ABCs of sales, motivation, success. Why not write a book on it for just every common person, not just salespeople, on how to get better every day? How do I improve? So it was really the challenge. And after writing the book, what I found is this: I don't want to write another book again. Here's why. It's freaking hard. It's hard to write a book. It took me like 2 years to do it. And what I did is I just took each letter in the alphabet, 26 letters in the alphabet, from A to Z. And, A for attitude, Z for zeal, M for mistake. And I came up with a principle of improvement that begins with each letter that was essentially a compilation of 25 years of me coaching, recruiting, training salespeople, and all the success in sales and operations really come down to the 26 principles. L for learning,
W for whisperer.
Yeah, there you go. Yes. And W for Wes. And actually, W is for why. The key to improving is you've got to ask why to things. Like, why? What is your purpose? What's your why? But you know what? We should switch that. What's your Wes? What's your whisper? What is your whisper? What's driving your whisper? That's great. Yeah. So, and then KISS principle. We all know that. Keep it simple, Schaefer. Come on, we all know that, right?
Damn it, Scheper.
And Scheper, we've been using that for years. We share that one. So yeah, the book was really just a way to say, you know what, let me document something. Let me, if I graduate to heaven tomorrow /DIE, die, I wanted to leave kind of like, all right, at least you got the 26 letters from Paul Scheper on what has driven him in business for like 35 years at the time. So it was a fun book, but it's really led to a lot because I go speak to realtors, financial planners, mortgage companies, but most importantly, like high schools, just about how do I get today than yesterday? How could I get better maybe a little bit tomorrow than I was today? Inch by inch, it's a cinch. Yard by yard, it's hard. You got to come up with a strategy. And out of all the letters in the book, you'll love M. M stands for mistake. The key to improving is you gotta goof up. You gotta be a goober. You gotta be a conehead. You gotta say, oopsie doopsie, I made a mistake, and not be afraid. But your goal is never to make the same mistake twice. But mistakes are awesome. They're a great teacher. And I've always told my kids growing up, the best teacher is to learn from other people's mistakes. But the second best teacher is mess up yourself, and then you're going to learn. So mistakes would be one of the letters in the alphabet. One of my favorite. Goals is G for goals. Goals are without a goal, good luck. Yogi Berra, he was the New York Yankee catcher who used to say, if you don't know where you're going, you'll probably end up there.
So what's up with that dude? Was he like, these didn't just come randomly? Like, he was like a smart dude that had to prepare those, huh?
Yeah, he must have, because he used to say, if you come to a fork in the road,
You pick it up.
take it. But who knows? But that's opportunity too. In my book, chapter O for, opportunity is there every day. Look at all the people you and I get to talk to every day. They get to hear how your product and your service solves problems. The opportunity is there for them to take advantage of it. But you and I, every day, we look left, we look right. We're trying to optimize our business. So there's opportunities that, that we need to do each and every day. And, you cannot procrastinate, though. I can tell you that you can't, because my quote of the day is, I'm going to stop procrastinating starting tomorrow.
Exactly. So, well, let's talk about opportunity, right? Because I always say, buy when there's blood in the streets, but people forget that the other part is, even if that blood is yours. That's true.
I like that.
That's the full quote, but people, we have selective memories. So the mortgage industry is changing right now, right? Rates are going up. So the obvious thing is, I'm just going to wait. Housing's in a bubble. It's all going to crash. People are going to stop buying. So when you're faced with an obvious objection,
yeah,
right? Because I hear this all the time. People are like, oh, I get objections I can't overcome. And I'm like, I don't care what you sell. And I've sold mobile homes in the Deep South. I've sold insurance, the kitchen table. I've closed $1 million deals at Google in Mountain View, 9, 10, 12 people at the conference table. There's only so many objections you're going to get, right? Price, availability, warranty, service, compatibility. I mean, there ain't that many, right? It's like, well, is that in alignment with Jupiter as Mercury goes into retrograde? I mean, like, you're not going to get those objections. If you do, they're crazy, right? So, I mean, your business rates are going up or rates are going down. I mean, okay, that's it. So, but people, they won't prepare for these objections, and they hear them and they're like deer in the headlight. What do I say? Like, how have you not been preparing for this? Like, I republish a blog post every year, in early October, and it's like, prepare for the greatest stall of the fall.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Call me after the new year. Call me after the holidays. It's coming. Right? So why aren't you addressing that in September and October? So it's not hitting you. You're going to get it. We all get that objection in the holidays. We get it in the summer. Call us after the 4th of July. Call us after Memorial Day. Call us after Father's Day. All right. So rates are going up. You've been in this 30 years, right? You've been in high interest rates, and we all know these are very low interest rates. They're just higher than they were yesterday.
Yes.
So how do you handle the obvious, or when somebody's worried, they're uncertain, right? Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. we have to help prospects overcome fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Yep.
How are you doing that now?
What I do is I explain that in most of the objections are back in 2008, 2009, when the fit hit the shan really bad. I always explain the difference this time is that borrowers who are borrowing money have to now qualify for real. W-2s, pay stubs, prove the assets, prove the credit report, prove the income. And so you're not going to get a 25, 30% drop like some of the areas overnight, because it's no longer funny money. It's real money. It's somebody who can truly afford it and qualify for. So I got into the business in 1983. Interest rates were 14%. Right now, they're in the high fives. They were in the middle twos. So call it, the high twos. And now it's the high fives. So what happens is, because of a housing shortage, you have to prepare. We call it PDR, practice, drill, rehearse, practice, drill, rehearse. They're coming. It's like the famous quarterback, Tom Brady.
Hopkins, right?
Yeah, Tommy, yes. Oh, that's my
practice,
guy.
drill, rehearse. I had him on the show. I love that guy.
Love Tom Hopkins, and do what fears you the most, But practice, drill, rehearse came from him. But like Tom Brady, the legendary quarterback for, the Patriots for years, and now he's for Tampa Bay. It's all about, he knows going in, they're going to blitz here with this objection. That's an objection. They're going to do a double crossover stunt. I know it's coming. It's just a matter of when's it going to come. And when it does, I'm ready. So the stall about the be backers. Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back. Sometimes you have to do what Tom Hopkins once taught us, just to clarify my thinking. And you won't hurt my feelings if you come from your heart and tell me the truth. Just come from your heart here. Just to clarify, what is it exactly you want to think over a little bit more? Is it the savings that I'm offering, or is it the reduced costs? Which is bugging you the most? And but you have to be prepared for it. And we call it the set aside technique. Let's set that aside. We'll come back to it. What else? What else? What else is there that's causing you to delay this decision? And then most important question that we always ask is, if you don't do anything at all, and you won't hurt my feelings, how's your life going to get better? And then you go like this after you ask the question.
Yeah.
First one to talk loses. Like, truly listen, not because it's some cheesy technique, but truly listen, listen, listen. Do you know that listen, the word listen and silent carry the same exact letters, but they're different orders? Listen and silent, that's the key to sales, is what is it that you're looking to do? Let's look at the alternatives. Let's look at the alternatives. But boy, a lot of times it's just trust. They don't trust you. They don't like you, maybe. They're just afraid. That's all. Fear, uncertainty, doubt. Fear stands for false expectations appearing real.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, if it's not their money and they're not the decision maker, that's going to be your biggest problem. You better go find the decision maker without alienating the gatekeeper, spouse, who might get offended. Who besides you can we talk to so that can we walk through this? What's a good time? Because I think that you could save a lot of money.
Yeah.
Or make
talking about listening, and I've shared this before, but it's like, even now my interviews, I hit mute because I'm typing and taking notes. But even when I'm on a sales call, I'm on mute. I've worked from home for 22 years with 7 kids and a dog, right? And there's noise. And so I'm very cognizant of the background noise. And so I'm just, after when I'm done talking, I hit mute. And I'm also taking notes. Right? I'm always at my computer. I don't want to write things down twice. I don't want to forget something. I can type pretty fast. So I'm taking notes. And so many times, like the phone will go to sleep, like the screen or whatever. And the customer, because you can hear when somebody's kind of wrapping up. So I'll go unmute. So I'm ready to engage. Or even here on the show, like something will stop. Oh, and I'm like, the screen's buried. And, oh, where's the button? Damn it. And but that nanosecond of extra pause, people, they feel like they have to fill in the gaps. So they'll just keep talking. And I've had prospects so many times, they thought they were done, but I couldn't wake up my screen. Got to wake up the screen, got to log in or swipe, whatever, unmute. They just keep talking. And then there's the magic. The great reveal comes.
Yeah.
Because I just let them continue.
That is a good point. That extra pause, after you ask, so tell me what you're feeling. I mean, I look at Larry King. He was a great CNN interviewer for years. And that other guy, I forgot his name, but they are so good at open-ended questions, which is the key to sales. They will literally say, let's say Robert De Niro, hey, you were just in The Irishman, great movie. Tell me, what do you think of the movie? Boom, shut up, let him talk. And when you think he's about done, there's a silence. Larry King, just to prove you correct here, Wes, would just continue to shut up.
Yeah.
That's why he's the greatest interviewer ever. If you go play back his interviews, he just listens way more than he talks. And
well, yeah, I call it, the Oprah. It's so we have to be comfortable making the prospect uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because they show up, oh my gosh, your house just got destroyed in that tornado. How does that make you feel? It's an obvious question. They feel terrible, but if it bleeds, it leads. People want to see that emotion. Like you're saying, how is your life going to get better if you don't pull the trigger on this? If you don't take action, if you remain where you are, how will your life improve? In a way, that's a tough question.
It is tough. It makes them uncomfortable,
but it's a fair question.
Respectful question.
And any of us can ask that. A fitness trainer can ask that. Jenny Craig, salesperson, can ask that. My jiu-jitsu coach can ask a prospect that. Thanks for coming in, give us a try. If you don't take this action, if you don't begin training, how is your life going to get any better? I can say it in
it's been my go-to for years.
So it's an obvious, now that I look at it, right, it's an obvious question if somebody's stalling, but we have to be willing to ask that question. And because I always say our job in sales is hurt and rescue. Right? I can't, they just start breaking down. Oh my gosh, I'll lose my business and nothing's working anymore. And the mortgage rates are changing and I'm going to lose my house and my car and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Are you willing to make a change? Right? So now rescue them. Don't just bubble up pain just to put somebody in a vice grip. Now show them the pathway out, and it's within their power, to bring about that change.
Yeah, Michael Jackson, the singer, was right about make that change. He was right. But I can tell you what you're leading to here is so critical. You must pull the client to the solution, not push them.
Yes.
If you push, they will fight you. In fact, it's one of the principles in jiu-jitsu is you must use not strength on strength. You have to use their strength and kind of recoil and be buoyant and be pivot and be flexible. You got to be Gumby, not pokey.
Yeah.
But if you push, good luck. You have to pull. How can we address what you had just told me that your pain points are? You're in a 2-bedroom home. You need 3 bedrooms. you need an extra bath because your kids, are now, going into your own bathroom. Let's talk this out. These are the pain points. You want a backyard, so it's, you have to, I call it, get them to recognize the problem, the itch, and then, we could give them the tool to scratch the itch, right? And some people, if you want to take it worse, have scar tissue, right? You got to sew them up and help them with the solution, with,
but that pulling, we can't pull them until I can't, like as a chiropractor, I can't tell you have a bad back. You have to tell me you have a bad back. And I'm like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is the back?
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how interested are you? How committed are you to making a change? How committed are you to investing in a proven process that has a very good chance of eliminating the need for you to ever require surgery or get hooked on pain pills that are only going to worsen the situation?
Yeah, good point.
Oh yeah, okay, fine. Now we can talk, right? But I've got to be willing to bubble that stuff up because it has to come from the prospect's mouth. It's a 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, it's a 7. Well, it sounds like to me, it may not be a big enough deal to really address right now. Do you want to wait until it's a 10 and then do something, forced to do something about it? Or would you like to address it before it gets to a 10?
Boy, we call that poking with questions and probing and poking, and, because you can't pull until you poke a little first with questions and curiosity, and you got to come from your heart. You got to listen with your eyes and your ears, with your heart too.
Yeah.
And then start telling you things. But one thing I found in sales that we have to overcome, and this is critical, is if you wait for perfect conditions on anything in life, it won't happen. Nothing is perfect, right? Nothing is perfect, but it's okay. Take a step, make the change, take a step, it's not even a leap. It's just a step, one step a day, right? And if people sometimes want perfection, and I call it perfect inaction, never works. What you want is, the opposite of that. You want, imperfect action. You're not gonna, nothing's perfect.
Yeah.
But we're going to come up with a solution here, because sales really is nothing more than delivering. You have a product, the customer has a problem, a challenge, adversity, something. Can we connect? Can we mesh it together? Can I be the solution? And it's such a honorable, noble, profession. You're helping people. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, what is better than that?
Yeah, I know.
And by the way, there's no better high. I came from sports background. In college, I played baseball, football, in high school, football, baseball, track, the whole thing. There's no high like helping somebody. And it's not about winning a sales award. It's about helping people. What can I do today to help somebody save money or make money? What makes them happy? What can create joy on the customer's face? And how do I get referrals? Because that's the ultimate high five. High five. They thought enough of me to refer me to a friend, neighbor, or relative. It's an incredible feeling.
Yeah, I know. That's awesome. Well, you've got some resources talking about helping people, right? You got a little YouTube channel. We got your book. I'm going to link out to both. But improvetube.tv. So that's a cool name. That redirects to your YouTube page, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So you've made little videos for all of them, A through Z?
Yeah, A through Z, 2-minute teasers that have just a snippet, just kind of a nice nugget or two, a quote or two. I mean, there's quotes in there from from Mark Twain to Kobe Bryant, and just they're just ways to get people to think differently today, and I won't give you all the quotes, but chapter A, the book starts out with a winner, which is by Charles Swindoll, who once said that life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it.
Yep.
Those are the kind of nuggets, that help people. And the book is not a sit down, let me read all 26 chapters. It's really meant for like airplanes, coffee tables, outside, beach. Hey, just pick a letter today. And in 26 weeks, you've gone through the book,
And you've helped me learn my ABCs.
Yeah, the ABCs.
Better late than never.
Yeah, no kidding. Get started now. When's the best day to plant a tree in the sequoias? Today. Quit looking at the other trees. Just plant one today.
Amen. All right. Well, now I expect you to find me when you come out the wine country. I live like 12 minutes away. So,
I know you're right there.
If you don't, okay, so if I don't hear from you, I'm going to give you 2 months. I'm going to give you 2 months. Then I'm going to show up at your house with all my kids and my dog. And
well, Sarah Scheper and I, we will take you to Wilson Creek Winery or South Coast Winery. We memorized them up there.
We'll go to, well, my friends have a new one. So we'll go try it.
Good.
I haven't even been. They just opened. Altisma or something. I got to look it up. A little higher end. We're members at Wilson Creek, but it's they're more like a retailer, right?
I see. Okay.
South Coast is a little nicer.
But we love Old Town out there. Old Town's fun.
It's a nice little secret, man. It's a little gym out here.
I know. Shoot, we want to ultimately be in Duluth. Have you heard of that area?
Oh, sure.
That's the coolest area.
I know. And if you get deep enough in, you can see the ocean from up there.
Whoa. That's amazing.
We're not very far, but just the little mountain range there. There's just no direct shot, but like we're not far from the ocean. We just have 2,000 or 3,000 feet of mountaintop blocking the view.
Well, thanks for having me on, because you're doing a lot of great things, changing the lives and transforming lives of your customers. And that's all you and I are trying to do each day, right?
That's it. Amen. Well, all right. Paul Scheper, all the way from Orange County. Thanks for coming to the show, man. It's been great.
Take care.
He sends a snail mail newsletter. How about them apples, huh? FU, follow up, follow through. Hits the big 4 and a little bit on TikTok as well. So maybe the big 5. It is in giving that you receive. What was it? SIT, stay in touch to succeed in sales. So many good things. Check out his book. Get you some real estate if that's what you're into. Seek progress instead of perfection. That's what we get after in our group, Sell More of Everything. The more reps you get, though, the more at-bats, the closer to perfection you become. You've got to be willing to get out there and make a mistake and look silly, look foolish. Okay? Get out there and make it happen. The best way to do that and not cost you an arm and a leg is to surround yourself with people where you can practice these things in a group. Okay, bounce ideas off of people that have been there. Then you can move forward more confidently. Okay, you will figure this stuff out. If you're committed, you'll figure it out. But it'll cost you. You're going to miss some opportunities you could have won if you had some expert guidance going in. All right, that's what I'm offering. Come do that. Sellmoreofeverything.com, or I do some one-on-one. I don't do as many. It costs a whole lot more, but it is one-on-one. It is unlimited access. So just go to the contact us and fill that out, and we'll set a time to talk and see if that's right for you. All right, but invest in good training with good people. You will make more money. You will have more fun. You will have less stress when you do that. Thanks for listening. I'll go sell something.